Bell. They're still doing Bell on virtual learning. I think it's pretty interesting. So I think it helps us as instructors and teachers to stay on track with the virtual. So anyway, not the subject of this week's P Nugget. I'm a little late. We closed on our house in Naperville yesterday, so been really busy trying to get that prepped, and we're getting ready to move and everything like that. So a little late on this P Nugget. Wanted to say Happy Hump Day because usually I'm doing these on Mondays. It's a wonderful day, beautiful weather out. A little rainy this morning. Not too bad though because we needed the rain. We've been in a drought for the last month or so, and so it's nice to get a little bit of rain to freshen things up. So anyway, the topic of this week's P Nugget, I was been walking the last couple mornings, and I kept on getting this scene in my head playing over and over and over, and that is with Mr. Miyagi and Daniel. And so in the first Karate Kid, there's a scene where Daniel wants to learn how to punch and kick and this, that, and the other, and they're in this boat, and Miyagi's just fishing, but he's trying to teach Daniel balance and how important balance is. And Daniel continues to insist to advance his training faster than what Mr. Miyagi wanted to do, and all Miyagi did was teach him a lesson. He rocked the boat, Daniel fell in the water, all wet behind the ears, and thus endeth the lesson. So Daniel learned a very valuable lesson about how to maintain balance. Balance is incredibly important, or you're all wet behind the ears, as Miyagi said. So balance is important in our lives. It's not just a catchy little clip from a movie. It is very important to keep balance in our lives. All of us have different things demanding of our time, our energies, and so on and so forth. We only have so much time in the day. Our most valuable commodity of time is limited. So how we parcel out and balance our time and the use of it is a very important thing. Or we could end up falling in and getting above our heads on stuff. So, balance is important in work, not just balancing work, but within the confines of work, balancing your day as far as tasks, and so on and so forth. But outside of work, if you have kids, you have to balance your time with kids, with your spouse, with friends. You have to balance your time in so many different ways. And when things get out of balance, it makes things unstable, and it can impact your performance in other areas. So maintaining a balance of things is very important. So how do you achieve balance? It's very difficult. I'm not going to be the authority on your life. I will tell you that the first thing you need to figure out is really assess what's important and what's not. For me, my family is number one. Number one is the people that are within my four walls, so to speak. And number two is number one really is my relationship with God. So I have got to make time with God. So let me make that abundantly clear. My time with God is number one, absolutely. If I don't do that, then everything else isn't in order. It doesn't fall in line, and it is out of balance. Second is my household, my family, my children, my grandchildren. Yes, I have grandchildren. And so maintaining balance in those areas is a very important thing. Then work. Obviously, I have to work for a livelihood, to pay the bills, to pay the mortgage, and so on. But maintaining a balance in all those areas is very important. Then, you have other things that demand of your time. Friendship, for example, and relationships outside of your marriage and your family, and that's your friendships and your associations, whether it be at church or temple or wherever. Maintaining those relationships is important. That has to be in balance. If it's in the wrong area, your life's out of balance. You end up being wet behind the ears and falling above your head. So maintaining that balance is very important. I want to kind of emphasize when it comes to extra, outside of marriage and outside of family, those friendships you have. Um, Medea, the Tyler Perry's character, was talking. I forget which one. I think it's "I Can Do Bad All by Myself" or Medea's Family Reunion. In the play, Medea was talking to a young girl about the different relationships, and I like the way that Medea put it. Tyler put it, is that you have relationships are like trees. Some relationships are like leaves. They're in your life. People are in your life for a season, and then they blow away. Some are branches, and they're longer lasting, but eventually they break and fall away. And then some are like roots, and those are the ones you really want to keep and maintain. And I would encourage all of you to figure out who those roots are in your life and maintain those relationships. Obviously, your marriage and your family are roots, but those who are outside of the family, we'll call it extra family. I know, like for me, Neil and Sheila are incredibly close. There's other people in my life that I would consider roots, that have been with me for years and stuck with me through thick and thin. And they help me maintain balance. They tell me, "Hey, you look like you're falling left or too far to the right," and they help me maintain balance. So I want to encourage you in this P nugget a little bit longer today, but to maintain balance, to figure out what is pulling you out of balance, what is making you fall rocky on the boat and at risk of falling into the water, getting all wet behind the ears. Have a wonderful day. Happy hump day again. Hopefully you're COVID free. Doing your best of slaying dragons, and I want you to have hopefully the rest of your week is going good. Don't forget, it's a Labor Day weekend. Have fun and be safe, and know that I love you. Have a good day.